Think I'm live. Hello, loves, and happy Monday night. If you are joining me and this is your very first time watching any of my videos, my name is Dani. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. I usually work with people who are feeling unfulfilled, overwhelmed, anxious, depressed. So, with everything going on right now with this quarantine and people very stressed out, experiencing stress, experiencing fear, I wanted to do a live video on some practical and effective ways on how to deal with stress and fear. So let's jump right in. One technique you can try is different forms of deep breathing. This is something that you can do anywhere. It doesn't take anything. In fact, you could do it right now. We're going to do it right now, right? So you're going to get comfortable wherever you're sitting. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable to, or you don't have to. And take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly exhale out of your mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then take a slow, deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. And you would continue on with that process of breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, holding for 4, breathing in for 4. Now, why this works is because your mind is going to be so focused on counting 4, okay, breathing in for 4, hold for 4, count for 4. It's something to do. You've got your mind focused. You're focused on that counting. So you're not going to be thinking about whatever's stressing you out or whatever you're experiencing fear over. Now, say, for example, you do the exercise and you find, Dani, 4 seconds seems a little bit short. AJ, hey AJ, thanks for joining me. He's working out. All right, awesome. Glad to hear you're working out. That's good. See, that's one way to cope with stress and fear is go exercise, move your body. So perfect we read that because that's going into my next tidbit, my next tip here is dance, move your body, exercise, do something to move your body. I did an Instagram live recently, and the person that I was doing the Instagram with, she was mentioning as a mom of 2, it's a little difficult for her to exercise. But one thing that she loves to do is put music on and dance. Listen, if you're at home by yourself, nobody's going to judge you, right? And if you're not home by yourself and you're with others, get them to dance with you. So the third tip, be as much in the present as possible. Something that I teach or talk to my clients about is when we are experiencing depression, we are usually focused on the past. If we're experiencing anxiety, we're usually focused on the future. So there's a form of therapy called dialectical behavior therapy, otherwise known as DBT. DBT talks about being in the moment, being mindful in the moment, in the present moment, what's right in front of you. Now, say for example, you're saying right now, yeah, but Dani, I don't really get it. I don't know how to just focus on the present moment. This is going to lead me into my next tip. Notice your thoughts. Now, there's another form of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. And what that talks about is it looks at our thoughts, how those affect our feelings and our emotions, and how that in turn affects our actions or our behavior. So, for example, if you're thinking, yeah, but I don't understand what you mean by notice your thoughts or change your thoughts, what does that even mean? Do you know how in the comics, when you're reading a comic strip, if somebody's thinking of something, it looks kind of like this, like a thought bubble, right? So pay attention to what it is that you're thinking. I'm so stressed about money. How am I going to make ends meet? I don't know how I'm going to do this. This person is driving me nuts. Whatever it may be that's coming up for you, notice those thoughts because those thoughts will in turn affect how you feel. If I'm thinking things like that, I'm going to feel anxious. I'm going to feel stressed out. I'm going to experience all these sort of emotions. Side note, by the way, my definition, or I consider emotions to be energy in motion. So if you think about the feelings of anxiety, what does that feel like? Maybe your stomach hurts, your palms are sweaty, heart is racing. If you're experiencing excitement, what does that feel like? Palms are sweaty, heart is racing, stomach hurts a little bit, right? So the energy is the same. It's very similar, but we identify it as anxiety and we identify it as excitement. So just be mindful of some of the emotions that you're experiencing. That I look at that as energy in motion, which is why it's important to move your body around if you're experiencing any of that. The last tip that I have is use affirmations that work for you. So, on the same note of noticing your thoughts, right? We need to shift from those thoughts that are causing the unpleasant emotions to thoughts that cause a neutral emotion. So, think for example, I'm doing the best that I can right now. I'm doing the best with what I have. I have survived 100% of my worst days. I have always made it through. Look at the affirmations that work for you, because I've had people tell me before, Dani, affirmations don't really work, and that's because they still need to build a relationship with themselves, and or they're using affirmations that aren't very genuine to their heart or their soul. So for example, if you go somewhere, right, and some random stranger walks up to you and says, hey, I think you're a really awesome person, but you don't know them, you're not going to believe what they say. Maybe this is all speculation. You might not believe what they say because you're thinking, well, I don't really know you. I don't know you as a person, so you may not believe what they tell you. Same goes for the affirmations. If you don't really have a strong relationship with yourself and you're trying to tell yourself things like, I am strong, or I am beautiful, handsome, I am courageous, and you're finding that you've been trying and trying and trying and trying and they're not seeming to work. This is only if you've been trying and they work. Hey, if you try them and they work, keep doing it, right? Keep doing what works for you. But this is if you've been trying it and it's not working. That's because we need to tweak the affirmations a little bit so that they resonate a little bit more with your heart and what's genuine. If I'm in a crappy mood, if I'm feeling complete blown out stress and anxiety, and you come up to me and you say, hey Dani, why don't you just be positive? I'll be honest with you, I might smack you. I wouldn't smack you in the face, but I would just be kind of grouchy about it. I might not be as receptive to it. So what I realized was trying to tell myself, well, just be positive, Dani, doesn't seem to work. For me personally, it wasn't very effective. What helped me get through times of just complete anxiety and stress were things like, Dani, we're doing the best that we can right now. Dani, you have always figured this out. We've always figured this out. Dani, you are stronger than you realize. Those kinds of affirmations are what I have found to be effective. So now you're going to want to try to find the ones that work for you. The last tip I'm going to give you, it's kind of an extra bit tip, and it piggybacks on what I just told you about noticing your thoughts. You don't have to do this, but I always recommend all of my clients in my private practice to name their ego. So for example, my ego, her name is Danila. Danila is the side of me that gets jealous, insecure, anxious, depressed, worried, things like that. Now, she's still a part of me, right? I can't make her go away, but I acknowledge her. That's where these thoughts tend to come from, is Danila. So when I acknowledge her, the thoughts tend to quiet down a little bit. I'm not saying you have to do this, but I would highly recommend you name your ego, and you probably want to name it a name that is something equivalent to your dark side or your shadow. Some therapists call it your inner child. You'll hear different variations of it, shadow work or things like that. So I hope these tips help. If you found this video to be helpful, you found like you got, these are some good tips, please feel free to share this video. My name is Dani LeBerry. Again, I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. If you have any questions at all, or if anything has come up for you watching this video, please feel free to contact me. My website is danileberry.com. Or you can email me, Dani, D-A-N-I, @danileberry.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great night.